Hi there, my name is Melissa Hall with QA Prep, and I wanted to talk to you in this video about a notice of privacy practices, what it is and what's included and how does that apply to you. So first of all, a notice of privacy practices is part of HIPAA. However, there are a lot of components to it that every therapist should be including in their informed consent process. So first of all, it only applies to you specifically as meaning it's a requirement if you're a HIPAA covered entity. And that means that you bill electronically to a third party payer in order to receive payment for services that you provide to your clients. Okay, so a lot of people may not fall under that umbrella. But regardless, there are a lot of components that you want to include, at least in your informed consent process. So there are four key components here, and the first one is information sharing. So obviously, if you bill to insurance, you're sharing things like a diagnosis, and you want to make sure your clients are aware of what information you're sharing with whom. They should know that things like their notes could be looked at, their records could be looked at, and that having this third party payer involved kind of opens them up a little bit. The next thing you want to cover is how you keep records. So yes, that's a part of the Notice of Privacy Practices, and there's a great example by the federal government that I will link to underneath this video if you want to check that out. So how you keep records. So you want to let people know that you keep records, first of all, and that if you do that by having a paper file cabinet in your office, or if you do that with an electronic practice management system, just let them know that that's something you do. The other component that's related to that is access. So a huge part of HIPAA, and this is often overlooked because we get really bogged down by all the complexity of HIPAA, but a huge part of HIPAA is client rights. And clients need to know that they do have the right to look at their records, and that's all of their health records in general, and that includes mental health records. So that's something that we should all keep in mind when we're keeping records, and let our clients know that is their right to access their records, unless there was some more extreme circumstance. That's typically the case. The last part of a notice of privacy practices, and of course look at the form for all the nuances, but these are kind of the main components, is complaints. So letting clients know how they can complain about you or make a complaint to the Office of Civil Rights if they feel somehow that their privacy has been violated. So that's really important to let clients know. All right, well, I hope this was really helpful for you. If a notice of privacy practices sounds scary, I think this should make it sound a little bit easier. Again, the federal government's description is awesome. I would say just use their sample. But if you are looking for more help with paperwork, with forms in particular, I am happy to announce that I will be creating a forms packet, a paperwork packet. So make sure you're on my email list so that you can check that out when that comes, and stay in touch and get little tips like this every week or so. All right, happy writing.